see him out there. Maybe you see him in social media as Bartender Brad, but certainly NASCAR's biggest star to this point for our year. One thing he certainly does well is lead. Not only last weekend at that track up the road, but we're kind of close to our hearts those 11 laps he led last year to beat out Casey Kane to take home the Bank of America 500 trophy. He's won 4 races this season, currently first in the standings, heading into the first race weekend for the Chase of NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship, which he won in 2012. Please join me in welcoming
number 1,
returning Bank of America 500 champion, Brad Keselowski.
Wow! Here we go, champ. Pass this mic down.
Well, thanks for being here, guys. Wow, that's quite an introduction. I'm impressed. But we're glad to be here and celebrating the kickoff for the Chase here in Raleigh, and I feel very privileged to be here as the first seed in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship. Someone did write me, by the way, on Twitter and said, I got Charlotte. There's 16 drivers going across the nation, and I got Charlotte, and they said, well, you got home field advantage. And I said,
nice.
Yeah, I did.
Yes,
Home field advantage, got the trip to Raleigh, so glad to be here. And like you said, Charlotte's a huge race for us. We've got 10 races, and we've got the brackets, right? 3 races in each bracket. I think Charlotte is probably one of the most important races in the bracket. Let me tell you why. In that bracket, we have Talladega and we have Kansas, 2 tracks that you really don't dictate your own fate at. I think you see a lot of wrecks in both those races, so that makes it really tough. So if you can go out and win Charlotte, win that bracket, and get to the next round, that could be a huge momentum swing. So we're really looking forward to the race. We went up there and tested with the Sprint Cup car about 2 weeks ago. I think we're going to be really fast. We were fast for that test.
I was watching you out my window.
Oh, yeah. How'd I look?
You look good.
Good.
You're fast.
But along with that, just to make sure, I'm going to double down the weekend and run the nationwide race the night before. So we're looking for big things, and we're excited about the race weekend and happy to be here.
Wait a minute, the number 2 car, according to Marcus, we watched the race. Marcus was giving you a little grief about last week.
Yeah, he did.
What happened? I think, what did you say, Marcus?
I said he stunk up the show.
He stunk up the show.
Yeah.
That's when I know
Are you going to let
my...
Marcus talk to you like that? The number 1 driver in NASCAR right now.
Governor,
I'm trying to stir up a little fight here.
Here's
I'm
the thing,
in politics.
Governor. Saying a driver stunk up the show would be like saying, the governor's running too much of a surplus.
There
right?
you go.
That's nice.
That means I'm doing my job.
Man, I'm voting for you. I'm voting for you.
Thank you, but I'm very, very, very thankful for the race we had last Saturday, and if we can have more races like that, we'll be doing exactly what we want to do. I know it might not be the best to watch, but my job is to win the race, not to make it the best to watch. So.
Hey, can I jump in there, Brad? I got to tell you, a lot of people may not know this. I know a lot of our longtime fans in the audience know about this, but you kind of went on to the national scene in a digital way a couple of years ago when there was an impromptu run-in with a jet dryer.
Yes,
in Daytona,
I wasn't the
right?
one who ran into it. Just for the record.
You weren't the one,
No.
but you
I
have
to be careful because the jokes on that were a lot funnier when the guy who did run into it wasn't my teammate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, so now you happen to have your phone with you, took a picture,
Yes.
and put it on Twitter, and then just blew up from there.
Sure did.
What was that like? I mean, you went from being a guy kind of waiting on a red flag. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but in Daytona, Juan Pablo hit a jet truck. Brad had his phone in his driver's suit, probably forgot, right? He wasn't texting and driving.
There's actually a really good story behind it. Would you like me to
Please, you're better at it than I am.
Long story here, so bear with me, Governor. There's probably some moms in the audience, so they might appreciate it. But the year before this particular event, I got in a really bad accident testing in Atlanta. Not your Atlanta, another Atlanta track. And I got hurt, broke my ankle, and long story short, they called in a helicopter and they airlifted me out to the hospital, and thought I was a little more hurt than I was, but thankfully I wasn't. But I had my phone on me, which at that time, because we were testing, just seemed like, it's kind of a long, boring day testing. I'll just keep my phone on me and I'll goof around with some video games or playing around on Twitter in between runs. So when I got hurt, I had my phone on me, and they're airlifting me out of this track to go to the hospital. And I thought, oh, my mom. you know, because she's going to hear about this, right? So I grabbed my phone out and sent a message to my mom. Said, "Mom, you're going to hear that I got airlifted out, but I just want you to know that I'm going to be okay. I broke something, but I don't know what." So it worked out well, and from then on, I thought, well, I'll just carry my phone with me. So I had a little pocket put in my car to hold my phone, and so
During a race.
during a race, yeah. Not that I was going to use it during a race.
Cup holder, right?
But
You
if
got a cup holder
During a race.
if something ever happened, I figured, well, I'd like to have my phone with it. Well, I wasn't thinking that somebody would run into a jet dryer and we'd have a red flag and NASCAR would stop all the cars on the racetrack. So when it did happen, being a guy, seeing this huge explosion in front of me, I said, I got to get a picture. So I took a picture, and the next thought was, well, what do I do with the picture? I said, well, I'll post it on Twitter. And so in the middle of the Daytona 500 in 2012, there's a picture of me sitting in my car. It stopped and not running, for those that are worried about that, for the record.
My highway patrol officers are right
Yes,
here.
yeah, just so you know. And so there's a picture of me, you know, taking a picture of this big fireball in front of me. And I guess a lot of fans thought it was really cool, so that's great. I never thought it would be as big a deal as it was. I just thought, you know, fire. I'd like to have a picture of that because I'm a guy. And it went over really well, and I was shocked. So, you know, from then out, people always ask me, said, wow, you know, I really like your digital strategy and the things you do on websites and internets and whatnot. And I always kind of laugh to myself because there's really not a strategy. I just do what I want to do, and sometimes people like it and sometimes they don't. But that was a fun night.
That's fun. You're an awesome champion. Folks, this is Brad is one of the most competitive people on the planet. He loves to win, and that's why he led every lap almost the other day in Richmond.
Well, when I won your race, I only led the last 11, so
Which I appreciate.
I wanted to balance it back
When's
out.
the last time anyone's led every lap and won a race?
It would have been, I think, 99 or 2000 with Jeff Burton in New Hampshire, Raleigh, New Hampshire. Yeah, so a long time ago.
Not very often.
12 or 13 years ago, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't like to do it again. That would be great, but it's so hard to do. NASCAR racing is so competitive, and if you get off just a little bit in this sport, it's the difference between running first and running 30th. So that makes it really special when you lead a lot of laps and win a race like that.
That's great. That's great. Good stuff.
Well, we admire you. We thank you for supporting NASCAR. You're number one driver. You're driving the number 2 car. The next winner for the Bank of America in October. Y'all come to Charlotte. Support NASCAR all throughout North Carolina. This is the capital of North NASCAR. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you,
God bless
Lieutenant
you. Thank
Governor.
you very much. Appreciate
Well,
it.
guys,
Thank you very much.
before you get off stage, we want to bring Miss Sprint Cup, Julietta White, up and take some photos with you all with the Bank of America
great.
500 trophy, I believe, in the foreground, as well as
There you go.
Sprint Cup Champions Trophy.
Very nice seeing you too. Lenny, we'll do two. We'll do one up on stage, and then we'll have you come and stand around the trophies, and then we'll take one here.
Put her in the middle. She is in the middle, is she? No.
Here, you get in the middle here. Get in the middle. Absolutely. Good call. Good call.
Thank you, Governor.
You guys will step.
Yep. We're going to bring our guests down to take one more series of photos, and then there are fan questions for driver